Dorothy, and then Cindy. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I think you're okay. We're still recording, so you can
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, Dorothy Sandoval, County Treasurer, and good morning to all of you. I just want to report that everything is still going pretty smooth. The state came in and we collected quite a bit of taxes, which helped the general fund to stay at a good level. The last report that I just did for the end of August, was $831,719.36 in the general fund, which at this time, most of the years in the past, we were much less than that. Our taxes up to date are, for 10 years, it's 96% collected, but even for 2011, is 91.53% collected. So every year for 10 years we're in the 90%. And so there's not very much there to collect. We still have some that we're working on. The 2012, like Betty was saying, she's working on the tax roll right now. And we're ready just as soon as that tax roll gets converted from the Colorado system to the triadic system, so that we can start working on printing. And as far as we see, we don't see any problem. They should be out on time.
Great.
Okay. We will have a land sale, an auction on October the 16th. Actually, the state, we just provide all the services for them, but once the property taxes go to the state, they are completely out of the county's hands. They're out of the treasurer's hands, and they're the ones that do all the searches and the red tagging and the collection for us. And then, of course, we get the money, but we have no control on that. Once it goes to the state and they're delinquent, we just back them up and support them.
Is there a specific contact person, and with your experience, is just because there's so many people going, the Manzano land grant is going through it, and so their questions are, they wanted to come here, and I was told by Betty this morning that there's nothing that can be done here,
Well, no, because once they're delinquent and they go to the state, they're out of our hands. They're the
Okay.
ones that do the terms. They're the ones that have all what you have to follow for them to auction this property off. All we get is the taxes.
No, I understand that. I was just saying what I learned this
In tax and
morning.
revenue, I can get you some numbers
Okay.
that you guys can call. And, as a matter of fact, the guys over here already talked to the land grant. And they sat down and visited. I think Nick was here. Nick and the land grant and the state already met.
Okay. I get, because they called me again last night, so they must be confused. Maybe I can have Representative King help them through the process then.
Okay, well, when it comes to land grants, I can explain a little bit of it that I know. The land grant is different than just any other property that goes up for auction, in only because it's in the grant. But they still have to pay property taxes, because we still have to support our schools, we still have to support the soil and water, everything. So it's not any different. The money that is going through taxes has nothing to do with the land grant. So that doesn't exempt anybody that's in the land grant from paying property taxes. And that's where they're confused, and that's why they get very delinquent. Because they think that because they're in the land grant, I am a land grant heir, I own property in the land grant, I know you do too, you live in the land grant. But that doesn't exempt us from paying property taxes. Everybody has to pay property taxes. So they get really behind. But what happens is when they go into an auction, anybody can bid on it. But the land grant, they have first say. And if somebody bids on it, the land grant can match it, and the land grant gets the land back.
Okay,
And it
so,
goes to the land grant. And then the land grant deals with it, because they can sell it to heirs of the land grant, because that's what they want to do. They want to keep it with the heirs of the land grant. They don't want, just like that's why you've had so many problems with roads and everything else, because It's the respect, just like the Indians have their reservations, they respect their reservation. Well, the land grants also want their respect of this lands that have been given to our ancestors from Spain. Okay, and so this has been gone forever, but that doesn't exempt them from property taxes, and that's where they get confused, because they think, well, I'm in the land grant, I'm different. No, you're not different. You have to pay property taxes. I have to pay property taxes whether I have kids in school or not.
So that's where the confusion is then, because
I
you know,
believe
you
so.
only get some
But
different parts.
the state can explain it better for you. And the reason that they hadn't been offered, they did in the past, because I've been here for so many years, that we had some properties that were offered from the Chilili land grant and were offered in auction. And the land grant was here and they matched it and they kept the property.
So when they match
They
it,
have-
do they need to
have
pay
have
that
the
day?
funds. Yes, they have to have
Okay.
the funds to pay for that. But if they don't have the funds in the land grant themselves, and they don't have the funds to pay for it, then they can lose it. It goes to the highest bidder.
Okay, well, thank you for
And-
further explaining that, and I'll
Yeah,
try
and
to.
it is very confusing, but the state has it more in a way where they can explain it better to you.
And it looks like they have just a small window of time, so they can
Yeah,
hopefully
they
figure it
still
out.
do. And the thing is that if there's confusion with their deeds or anything like that, they won't sell them. And that's with anything. It doesn't matter whether it's the land grant or whether it's estancia ranchettes or anything. If there's anything that's a controversy there, like a bankruptcy, or there's something with the land that's the description, the assessment, there's a correction, whatever, they will not sell it if there's anything. They will pull it out. So in the past, the last few years, the state has respected the land grant by just saying, hey, you know, catch up on your taxes, and we're not going to offer the land grant because the land grants didn't have the money to be able to overbid, you know, on this. But they do have the right to do that. That's a statute.
So one final question. Would they be able to go and pay up before the auction? So it doesn't go to, okay.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, that's what we want.
Okay.
And that's with everything.
Okay.
That's not just the land, that's with everything that's in that sale. We don't want people to lose their properties. We're not here to take their properties away from them. And that's where sometimes they get confused because they think, well, they want to take our property away. No, we're trying to get you to get your taxes so that you don't lose it at an auction, because people that come to the auction can buy it and then you lost your property.
Okay.
So
So there
we're-
isn't a cutoff date,
Yes.
they still have
No,
time?
They have till that morning. They can walk in at 8 o'clock in the morning and pay their taxes, and we will take it off.
Okay.
We try to get them to come in before, because it's much easier than having to stop everything and trying to say, well, now you got to pull this one, and that's a lot of paperwork that they have to do. But we want the taxpayer not to lose their property. We want them to come in, if they can, do whatever they can to pay their taxes so that they don't lose their property to anybody. Okay?
Thank you for explaining it to me. 'cause
And then I do need one more thing. I need to ask Sheriff. I did talk to your girls about reserving a deputy, and because by tax and revenue regulations and state regulations, we have to have a deputy on site when we have an auction.
Yeah, yes, and they discussed that with me,
Okay.
and we're giving you two deputies for that day.
Okay, I only need one, but if you want to give me two, that's okay. Because we don't ever have any problem with the auctions themselves. And the guys are trained and they take care of it really well. The thing is, the reason they require is because of funds. Because they collect lots of funds and they want to be protected from it, because they've had issues in other counties. We've never had a problem in Torrance, but you just don't want to take that chance. And so they require for us to have a deputy.
Well, it's on the calendar, and it's all set up for you.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it. Any questions, any more?
No, thank you for your good explanation.
Okay, thank you. And like I say, if you need numbers, just come to my office, I'll give you.
Okay, thank you so much.